My name is Jazlyne Sabree, and I am a visual artist based in the greater Philadelphia area. I have been creating now for about 10 years on this wonderful journey of self-discovery and exploration that has been born into these paintings, which have taught me so much. When Lavette Ballard called on me and let me know that she was going to be doing an exhibition titled Stories My Grandmother Told Me, immediately this piece popped into my mind. I knew that this piece was going to be submitted to it, not only because it's titled Grandmother's Love, but just the idea of like having my grandmother teach me love, right? And talk to me about our ancient histories and about all of the complexities of love. And, you know, she very much is probably the pillar of my life in terms of showing me love and showing me what love looks like. If you can't tell, she's probably one of my favorite people. But the title of that show was just so moving for me, and I immediately knew which work needed to be in it. And I'm just really thankful for the opportunity to display this work here amongst so many other amazing artists. This piece is really just about that intergenerational connection between my own grandmother, who's depicted here, and my youngest son, and really exploring themes of, you know, racial identity and familial love. Really thinking about how accepting my grandmother has been of my children's racial identity being biracial individuals, and thinking about literally just the love that she has for my children. And so I really wanted to depict that in the piece and really show, I think, like the strongest moment that I have of them, and so much just like love and affection. And then also including the doilies, which are a reference to, you know, West African cultural tradition and their connection to just like maternal life, connection to the feminine, and these other attributes. So I knew that I needed to bring those in to really tie in that this is a maternal figure who is demonstrating all of this great and abounding love. I primarily work with animal print tissue paper. For the skins, I call them animal hides because they very literally hide the identity of the figures that I am working from. I feel that as African diasporic people, we tend to constantly be in a state of observation and scrutiny, and so it was really important for me to protect the identities of my models. And once I apply the animal hides to them, it actually elevates them as spiritual guides. You know, the specific animal prints that I'm using are from giraffes, leopards, and zebras, because those specific animals were looked to as spiritual guides in our ancestral West African spiritual traditions. And so once I apply those animal hides to my figures, it very much does elevate them into spiritual guides. And I've learned that throughout my process of creation, really finding that the pieces speak to me as I'm working on them. I have the images, but I don't really know what it's going to mean or what it's going to be until I apply the skins and something magical just happens. So each piece that I create has its own message of, you know, whatever type of idea, spiritual idea, ancestral idea, contemporary idea from the African diaspora, that it speaks to me as I create it. My second piece in the show is titled On Sundays, Aunties Wear Pink. It's a bit of a quip from the movie Mean Girls. But when I saw it's literally my mother and my aunties. And they were accompanying me to an exhibition in Washington, D.C., and when I saw them sitting there, like the way that they were poised, I just knew I needed to get a picture of it. When I take my pictures, I don't know where they'll end up, if they'll ever end up in a painting or what, but that moment was just so sharp, and they just had so much vibrance and like attitude. And so when I applied the skins and began to paint them, it just told me that they needed to be wearing pink, and it needed to have some connection to sass and just attitude. And so that is where the title was born, and where I really understood what the piece was about. And then it's also about the younger women, right? Really seeing the confidence of these older women that are, in front of them, that they're looking to, that they're, sitting beneath to learn their wisdom. And so there is the young lady who needed to stay in the piece, who is ascending into another realm of higher knowledge, based on all of the wisdom that she's receiving from, or that she has received from her aunties. And so that's what that piece is about.